Yo, what up, Good morning, GMG. Yeah! Monday, oh, baby. Monday, October 6th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. The boys are back. They're reunited. Tyler, Mando. Good morning, lads. How you guys doing today?
It's good to be back, man. Good to be back. I've missed the show. Tyler, I've missed your face. Baroque has seen you way too much. Seen too much of you, actually. If anything.
I mean, I saw you so much. I mean, I saw you naked. No.
We don't need to go there. You know.
No, we didn't do that. But our hotel in Korea did have a spa where underwear was not allowed. But we didn't get. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, I saw Mando a lot. It's mostly Tyler we missed. You know.
I'm liking the Tash. I just noticed it now.
You both have them. How about that?
You know, I came back to Portugal and I was like, yo, I gotta come back. So this morning and did a little thing.
Take the man out of Portugal. You can't take Portugal out of the man. Bro,
you should have seen me there. Yeah, I was talking Portuguese to these motherfuckers. The Koreans like, what the hell is going on here? Incredible scenes. Tyler, how was your trip? You took a week off as well. Went to Napa. I mean, how was that?
A lot of fun. To San Francisco for a couple of days, then got deep into Napa, Sonoma, Unveils. Joined a couple wine clubs. Had a good time. It was fairly relaxing, and then got back to business. Notably, that Friday was the Friday of my trip is when we bottomed. So the 108K, and then once I was back at the desk on Monday, we were up only. So I think those were likely correlated events. And happy to be back with the boys here at 125K.
What is your favorite wine when you were in Napa?
Yeah.
I joined Promontory, which is the sister winery to Harlan.
Okay.
So I think that was probably my top. But enjoyed this place called Reeve a bit as well. It's a little bit off the beaten path, up in Harrodsburg. So there's a lot of little different pockets up there. So just spending more time exploring it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it compares to the top French wines, but I am a fan.
Life is good out there. I've only been there once, but it's
nice.
Like a nice life.
There's great food. It's all like fresh because so much agriculture comes from California. So you have fresh food. The climate is very nice. It's warm during the day, but like a dry warm, and then it's cool in the evenings. Beautiful scenery. Like you're up in the hills. So it is. It's a nice place to visit. When you come for the World Cup, you'll definitely have to make a stop.
Of course.
Ooh, I just saw the World Cup ball get announced too. It's sick.
San Francisco's they're hosting fairly deep. I think Sweet 16 maybe or whatever. I had to go back and check the schedule, but I do know San Francisco is hosting.
This is gonna be a fun one. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, France is gonna win, obviously, so it's gonna be a great World Cup. We're looking. You know who's looking good for this World Cup is Portugal. I mean, these players: Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, João Neves.
Look at it.
Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, I'm so happy to be back. Look, Asia was fun. We should probably debrief that in a second, but being back is great. So anyway, so on the show. Let's debrief that. We'll talk about Asia. I know Mando, you've been tweeting like crazy. Got a lot of alpha in Asia. So let's maybe debrief like our thoughts about Korea and KBW and Singapore Token 2049 for those who couldn't make it. Then let's go over the market because wow, oh my God, I got bad news for the Bears. God says we're not over. We're not even close to being top tier. So let's talk about the market. We got some time. We spent a lot of time with Tom Lee actually, Tyler, and he's got some thoughts too. So that was a lot of fun to be with a fellow perma bull. Let's go over Tyler's top 100, maybe 1,000, maybe top 1 million. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that I tried to catch up over the weekend. It was extremely hard for me. Then we have a guest coming. We got a partner of the show today. We're going to quick little interview with them. And then last but not least, Wallet Connect is back. Yes. We love our partners. Shout out to our partners keeping the show alive. They're back on the year, guys. Wallet Connect. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto is recognizable as Visa at checkout, powering billions in volume monthly across wallets, apps, users, and institutions. Want to learn more? follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. We definitely love it. Mando, let's go to you. If I can, I even forgot where my button is. 2 weeks off and this what happens. There it is.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
So yeah, I was right. Not for the first time in the history of this show. Bitcoin hit an all-time high for the end of October, and most of CT was sidelined. I think I was calling for that for a while. Also said that BNB would be the strongest L1, up 80% in the last 90 days. Kind of a crazy move on that one. So I think this is not unexpected. Global markets have been going up for a while here. The strange thing has been that Bitcoin's been underperforming the move in gold, the move in stocks. We're hitting all-time highs every day in these assets. So I think gold is up nearly 50% on the year now. And obviously this is in a world where global M2 is going higher. The main worry is that this was clashing with the 4-year timeline. And I think you'd seen some pretty big whales come in and just kind of decimate the Bitcoin chart a couple of times. And that caused a lot of it's so over vibes. We did have a wobble, which is what I also thought we'd do. We went down to whatever it was, 108 or something.
Yeah, 108.
Yeah, 108. It was 108 on the dot. Yeah.
And but then it was a very strong bounce off that. I had moved the majority of my portfolio into Bitcoin and BNB and Aster at that stage, which is kind of what I've been saying. And now, but then like some stuff bounced very, very aggressively. It feels strong kind of across the board. ETH, interestingly, is looking pretty good here. It looks like it's heading back to the all-time high. That's been particularly strong. Solana's strong, maybe not as strongest, but still looking good. And then BNB has been the strongest. It feels like out of the top coins on this whole CZ coming back, regaining focus, memes, DeFi all popping off. So yeah, strong period here for that. Down the list, obviously, it's really been the key narratives, I think, have been the DEX wars, of which you probably had a lot of time to get into a lot of different moments again, like Aster recently went all the way down to like 1.5 at one stage. And then again on this FUD yesterday, I think it was 1.75 or something like that. So that's been interesting. Hyperliquid hasn't been doing terribly. They obviously released the NFTs and it bounced from that like recent FUD around it, but it does feel like it's going to be a bit more of a competitive landscape, and it's just kind of hanging out at like 50 now, which I think is very good for Hyperliquid. But it is, yeah, it's definitely caught in a little bit of a war now around perp dexes. That was probably the major thing, other than just like perp dexes. Sorry, other than just prediction markets and gambling, I would say, which is like the top stuff that I was paying attention to in Asia. And just the move to BNB. Those were kind of the biggest things. And then in NFTs. Sorry, what do you mean? Which
what's your takeaways, right? Like obviously, like you came out of Asia even more bullish on BNB. You did call like it was like 800. You were saying BNB's to buy here. It's 12 something right now, which is insane. We just showed the charts. Aster has been insane. Everybody thought it would be quick. Dumped like 1.3. Now back above 206. Got a listing this morning on Binance, but. What was your takeaways, right, from the trips to KBW and Token? Because they're the two of the most important conferences of the year by very far as well.
Yeah. So Binance being able to champion DeFi on its chain was kind of one thing. And I think this Aster is one, but you're going to see a few of these now. Feels like CZ is going to get a pardon, almost certain about it now. And you're going to see this kind of them taking a very centralized role, kind of opposite to Coinbase almost with their chain, where they really promote certain assets and make sure they win. And we're obviously seeing that to an extreme with Aster, where they're seemingly rerouting half the fucking order book through Aster, but they want their DeFi things to do really well. So you're going to get this, and people, I think this is something that I said on Friday on the other show that I do. people are getting a little bit confused here by saying like, oh, but it's not DeFi, really, this is CeFi. That is the correct take, but it's non-KYC CeFi.
Mhm.
This is something you have to appreciate about Binance. They have lost a lot of people to Hyperliquid who, because they've had to go down the more KYC route with the DOJ, and very big in Asia, for example, and lots of other countries which are now promoting this. So now they're going to push basically non-KYC CeFi DeFi, we would call it, where you're able to do the stuff you wanted to do, but Binance is going to not ask for KYC around it. And then they're taking it to the extreme with things like dark pools. So that this sort of FUD that it saw yesterday, I thought was very interesting, because some people were like, oh my God, like this just proves it's Binance. And then other people were like, oh my God, this just proves it's Binance. And I think you've got to get on board with the idea that, or got to understand here that these more, I wouldn't say shady characters in CeFi, but like they are going to start having their champion of DeFi, which allows them to market to the people that Hyperliquid have now been able to take. So I think that's what we're going to see, and essentially just have the same order book. What they've basically given you there is Binance's order book, or at least liquidity, let's say, but you don't have to KYC for it. And I think that's going to be a trend for quite a number of the things that Binance can do. So you're going to see this probably with lending, probably with stablecoin, and maybe even a token generation platform. So that was one takeaway. Obviously, prediction markets, everyone was very bullish on them. I was around Myriad a lot, so maybe that was part of it. There was a lot of takes, still that this was a 4-year cycle, and that like a lot of OG Bitcoiners in Asia would sell anyway at the end of this year. So it does make me think that we're going to continue to underperform the M2 chart for a little bit here. I don't think there's going to be this like unbelievable move up to like 200K. That's my gut on the back of that. Just that there were some people that are just, these are giga whales that are just like, this has been what I've done every year. This is every 4 years. This is what I'm going to do this year. So I do feel like we may be in for a period of here of not sustained weakness, but sustained underperformance versus macro. That was maybe one of my takeaways. And yeah, just everyone launching a neobank stablecoin. There's clearly going to be this like layer of crypto here that's like not really TradFi, but like going to try and be TradFi and do the stuff that you can do. And I'm going to be interested to see how that one develops. I actually spoke to some of the World Liberty Financial guys out there a little bit, and I kind of get their pitch a lot more now, which is like, if one person has got the chance to like maybe do a deal with TradFi and like make sure you can do a loan on your crypto, it's through something like that rather than through some like Tether-backed vehicle. So I think in this neobank world, it's going to depend on who has licenses and who has political capital to kind of get through, again, like non-KYC or like deals with the right TradFi people. And I think we saw one today from Galaxy. Galaxy are obviously getting into it. Plasma's getting into it. Well, Liberty Financial's getting into it. And we're probably going to see like 5 to 10 others all try to do this now. And this is kind of like who... And I think they're not all going to be created equally around this. So that was a lot of the conference, was like TradFi, stablecoin guys coming in saying, hey, we're going to give you 7% yield on your debit card, and you're going to be able to use it for this. There's lots of debit cards. If I can put my money into a World Liberty Financial or Plasma-backed vehicle, and I can buy a house with it, that's what people want, right? So I think that we're going to see how that develops. In my opinion, that's going to be like the golden goose for a lot of people here. And then the strategy stuff. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with NFT people. A lot of people like absolutely crushed it on that trade. A lot of cope. A lot of like mixed takes about how this ends. And yeah, I think that was an interesting one. I like it. I like that, how that's been done, but I do think that it's going to be volatile. Can you hear me?
He's zooming in. Nice takeaways. I think he's still muted. What?
Sorry, my mic got disconnected. Go for it. Sorry, Tyler. Sorry.
No worries. Just on like the Asia CZ Aster, I think my biggest takeaway, not being in the conversations that you all were in, it's just that I think CZ stepped in at first, and we're like, okay, he's touting Aster. That was the initial trade, but he's continued to show up for Aster. I think that much is clear, even just watching this from afar. So he seems pretty plugged in. And for me, my left curve take is I'm comfortable betting on one of the most powerful men in crypto, or the most powerful. And to me, it's kind of as simple as that. And if he's launching products, I'm going to be taking a hard look at them.
Yeah.
Non-KYC Binance. Think about it like that. Rather than, rather than, they're fudging the numbers. I mean, who knows? But this is one aspect of Binance, right? They're probably going to do this for. I think Aster probably will do spot trading as well. Or does it do spot trading, or is it just perp?
Of course, I only do spot. I only do spot on Aster. I don't touch the levy there.
I've only ever done perps, but then there'll be other things.
Bitcoin,
like Launchpad will be done. Yeah. They're going to try and build this so that if you want to do things in crypto, you can do it non-KYC. That's my
gut. Yeah, 100%. I mean, non-KYC is. I think a lot of people are getting tired of the whole KYC stuff in crypto, but it's tough because of regulations in like the West and stuff like that, most countries. But like true crypto in a way is like non-KYC, right? At least the original crypto, which is probably why like Zcash right now has gone quite a bit privacy, right? So privacy, non-KYC is the main theme in crypto when you think about it.
It's becoming a much bigger theme. I think Zcash actually has legs here.
I think the institutionalization of crypto kind of made that again, like the cypherpunk thing may come back in a way when you speak about all these people. And people love to call it crime, but it's just like originally crypto was meant to be this like underground, quiet, private thing, not meant to broadcast how much money you have to like 8 billion people, right? Or at least the people that have internet access. So I think it's interesting. I don't need to revisit Mando's thoughts on Asia. Obviously, like extremely bullish BNB. Aster was obviously the main conversation. At least the perp dex war. I think both of them will win and can win. So that was super interesting. Prediction markets was the other topic. Like if people weren't talking about Aster, they were talking about prediction markets. 100%. Like this was like the main topic. We co-hosted an event with Kalshi and Solana, as well as a few other prediction markets that sponsored it. I have to give a shout out to Euphoria and Fireplace, two of my favorite up and coming prediction markets, next gen prediction markets, just like us, right? Like we're in the same category, Myriad, right? Two of the ones that I had a great time talking to their founders. Was fun. So about 200 people showed up to the event. And it was like a bunch of panels. People actually sat down for all the panels. It was sick. And I got to meet all the other next gen prediction market founders. It was all love. It reminded me NFTs 2021. Like, you know how like all the founders get together, chill, talk, their communities, etc. It was really cool. The panels were great, high quality. It was people from all over the place. And the appetite for the prediction markets is bigger than ever. I've spoken to a lot of the big exchanges, maybe like 3-4 of them. They love prediction markets. They are all going to launch prediction markets, whether it's embedding with existing ones or anyways, figure it out, aggregating. That's going to happen for sure. So pay attention to that. And you can tell like it's perp dexes and prediction markets right now. And I actually like how the space has matured in a way where it's like, we do still have the casino aspect, but right now the main topic of conversation is privacy, perp dexes, and prediction markets. Do you guys notice? Like the narrative is that, or like some cool strategy thing going on NFTs, which I find awesome, right? Not on the trade, but I love it because my homies are like printing millions. So that's always fun, you know. But I think that's it, man. So prediction markets are the big thing, and reinforcing that. One thing that was fun, guys, is we would go to people with locks and we're like meeting them and like, yeah, they're like, you guys doing prediction market? And like, yeah, have you heard Myriad? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love Myriad. And I'm like, yeah, that's us. And like, what the hell? So I thought that was awesome. And as usual, Asia opens all doors. And like Mando tweeted about it's IRL. Like some people are like, oh, it's maybe not worth going to this conference, that conference. If you're a founder and you're trying to really, really meet the right people, like, you know, I could have never, like I've been trying to get in touch with Tom Lee for 3 months now through 4 different people. One of which was my friend's brother invests with him. And it was hard to get to him. My friend ran into Tom Lee's homie in the elevator of the Joseon Palace, and they ended up coming for one drink, and it ended up being 5 hours of hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, this shit doesn't happen on the phone, right? So I thought it was super cool. And then yeah, so that was really topic conversation. That's the main things I saw. So anyways, markets are good. Mando, quickly before we move on from the markets, how do we feel here? I mean, is it top last season?
Oh, is it top last season? I think the strongest narratives right now. Look, I like Aster still. It's still one of my biggest bags. I do think it's going to be pretty volatile going into this airdrop, but as we've just spoken about, I still think that BNB Aster story is like it's going to keep going. I like Zcash. It's up 3x or 4x in the last month. And obviously this, if you look at the chart, it looks like it probably has a bunch of bag holders in it. But I'm going to be buying dips in that just because I think it's an interesting, as we just spoke about, this whole like, as we go more and more TradFi, there is going to be a bit of crypto that goes, no, we want to be non-KYC privacy. And it's interesting that this is now showing up in different spots. Right, but this is a $2 billion coin. And the only other one, which is like well known, is Monero. No. Monero is going through a 51% attack right now. So, like, dude, it can be reorged, I think, pretty regularly. So, like, I think there's not that many in this. So my view is that it's got a pretty good narrative, a narrative that can actually pick up for a while. So yeah, I'm buying this one.
Good. Wow.
Knowing that it can go all the way back down to like 100 or whatever, but I'll be buying. That is I'm looking forward to that. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to buy more actually because I feel like this could be a story now for a little bit here in crypto. Even though it's kind of unusual and it'll never be fixed. Like people like the privacy stuff. So, and I'm seeing that is what Aster is. Just to be clear, people are like, oh, it's not. It's a privacy.
Aster's a privacy coin.
Basically,
you hear that?
It's the same. It is a similar narrative to the other.
I love that. I love that.
Think about is around it.
I mean, yeah, dark pools and all that shit, right? It's just more privacy. I think CZ talks about it a lot.
Well, we have to dig into a bit. I think part of the reason Zcash is pumping is in reaction to this institutional narrative for crypto, which is really taken up to the next notch, I think, and maybe like on Thursday and Friday. So JP Morgan is now coining the debasement trade. Their term, I think I saw around Twitter quite a bit this past weekend. It's effectively like, okay, our currency is being inflated away. You need to be in strong assets, and Bitcoin, gold, and good stocks are effectively your basket. And then Morgan Stanley issued guidance last week as well to their 16,000 financial advisors to start pitching Bitcoin to their clients. They manage $2 trillion, 2 to 4% allocation. So this is
a lot taken, by the way. Like since the original Bitcoin ETFs, only now Morgan Stanley have decided that now we're going to start pitching it. Like tells you quite a lot. Like takes you fucking ages for them to get on board.
Another anecdote. I tweeted this. I do have a financial advisor. He called on Friday, wants to start buying gold. I almost dropped the phone. Like you're pitching me gold now at 45% year to date.
Yo,
but their price target is 6,000 for next year, and I share this because like this is they are hitting the ground. They're picking up the phones and they're pitching gold, and they're going to start pitching Bitcoin.
Like you heard about gold?
You heard about gold? Hello, Mr. Tyler. Let me put you in on one very, very good investment opportunity. It's called gold.
You get it out of the ground.
You haven't been to Angola? You haven't been to Africa? They fucking drill that shit and find it every other day. Oh my god! Every other day there's a fucking gold mine popping out. Oh my god.
That's what's driving, right? Tether didn't buy last week. The ETFs bought $3 billion. So that's who's buying.
That's who's buying. Dude, I'm so fucking.
But apparently the Asian whales are going to be selling in Q4 anyway, so we're going to have to churn through that.
Yeah, look, I love Bitcoin. My portfolio is Bitcoin, BNB, Aster, and then a couple of other. Like, I got a bit of hype, bit of pump, bit of I still got the link, a couple of other things. But like this is aside from obviously the stuff that I'm involved in. But the yeah, like I still like Bitcoin the most. I do think ETH looks a little bit sendy here. Like it had a really nice touchdown there to like 3,000.
It looks amazing.
Like it hit kind of that 21-week average, right? Which is like normally considered like the long-term bull. It does.
What are your signals saying? What is signaling right now, Mando?
Do you want to go through it? I mean, I've got to go in a few minutes, but we can.
No, just tell us. You don't have to go through it. We can go through it tomorrow. Don't worry. We have the week.
Yeah, like everything kind of hit a buy middle of last week, if I'm honest. I mean, it's tough to say because like nothing just turned. It turned like a week ago, and everything's in up only mode.
Yeah. Solana's looking good, but on Solana I like Penguin Pump the most. I think Pump is really
Pump is actually. I was gonna say like I cut a Pump position this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I don't know. Like you said, like you said what the market cares about right now, and it's prediction markets, it's perps, it's new real products, and the meme volume is trending down. And granted, seasonality, like this is typically a lower season, but now you've got these NFT strategy tokens, which are kind of stealing the attention share from the meme ball of money. I'm not bearish on Pump on a long-term time horizon. I think they have plenty of things they can do. I do think near term are they going to lag. There is a risk that they lag.
This was insane, by the way.
Yeah, this is wild. I agree with you that Pump. He did tweet something out when I was away, being like, "No one has any idea what's coming." So I was like, "What's he got?"
I believe him though.
Like, have a yeah, I'm sure they do have something. I'm sure they do. I think Pump's one of these coins where it won't go down that much, but it won't go. It probably isn't going to like triple. And I think there's a world here where BNB keeps going. Aster, I think, could like go up 50% quite easily here. And I think Zcash could do like
I like Mando.
So there's no limits to what Zcash could do here.
Zcash trades at 3 billion FTV. I don't know.
All right.
I think that one could have a bit, and that this is in a world where it can also go down a lot too. But I think I just see privacy coming up a bit, and yeah.
All right, we'll be paying attention to that. Waiting for the Zcash dip. All right, well that's a good roundup.
What do you think on the strategy tokens here? Well, obviously, like
Tyler's more involved, I think. I mean, that dip earlier was like the dip to buy. That was like a gift from the heavens. Tyler, what do you think?
The big announcement was Friday night, right? So Renatic came out and said, basically, they're going to turn into a launch pad for strategy tokens. So they've got 5 known projects launching this week, 1 per week, as long as there are no more delays. And then we've got another 5 coming next week. But then after that, they are transitioning to a model where they will be doing 24-hour daily auctions with similar mechanics. They're still going to take 80% of the funds are going to go to the pool, and then Punk Strategy is going to get 10%. So they've got this ongoing fee mechanism that's going to keep funneling back in to this core Punk Strategy token. So if you're looking at Punk Strategy as just a token that is tied to the Punk vault, like you're missing the full picture. So like there's clearly more to it than that. I think it also trades somewhat on a mimetic value of somewhat of an NFT index meme. I haven't fully wrapped my head around that aspect of it yet. But you see, so Friday night, the announcement came out, it was around 150 and then it doubled. So people were clearly very bullish on this launchpad announcement. And then this morning, we saw that the insane volatility. A whale single clip 2.83 million, 2%, 20 million tokens, 2%. Interestingly enough, they sent it through the fee pool. So they took the 10% tax on that to give it back to the community. So probably, paying their gratitude. So respect for that. Punk Strategy picked up 2 more punks in the volatility. It went all the way to 70 million. And what's it back to now? 215. So I think near term it's going to be a little choppy, right? So it's going to take a while to work through that. Because now you have everyone who bought the dip. They're already up 2x. So some of them are going to start taking profits and clipping out. So I think we're going to consolidate a bit, but we've got these new launches starting. Assuming they launch today, we have Goblins today. I think Checks tomorrow, Max Payne Wednesday, Thursday is Good Vibes Club, and then Friday Milady, I believe, is the schedule there. So with each of those launches, there's going to be a big volume surge on day one.
So
at a minimum, because if you look at these other tokens, like Pudgy Strategy hit 24 million over the weekend, Ape Strategy would hit 20 million, and they're down as well. But basically, anyone who bought these early tokens on the gun made 5, 10, 20x. So I think now everyone missed it. Like, so many people missed it. They missed Punk Strategy, and then they missed the next wave. So there's going to be the chasers who come in this week, and it's going to drive fees back to Punk Strategy.
So how are NFT floors looking? And then are you just meant to dump all your NFTs and just buy strategy coins?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a tremendous impact on the NFT floors just yet. I think part of this is, these bots, these strategies are effectively like plunge protection. Like they do keep the floor up, but then they list right now at 20% higher.
They reduce vol. That's what they do.
Yeah,
they reduce vol. Like you're going to see it more difficult. As bigger these get, it's going to be more difficult for NFTs to like moon, in my opinion.
The bigger they get, I think we'll have to continue to experiment on how they get relisted, because relisting at 1.2x for the indefinite future is going to be a little bit boring.
So what happened today? Why was that Punk sold for? Why did it acquire Punk for 10 ETH above the floor?
I think the way this contract works is it can effectively get tricked, and it will buy a Punk for how much ETH is in its pool. Typically, when it grinds up slowly, once it gets to like 48.8 ETH, it will buy the floor Punk. But in moments of extreme volatility, where it's getting fees, and it churns it through, like today, I think it shot up to 58. Punk's OTC, I don't know if it was Punk's OTC or someone else, effectively sold. They bought the floor Punk and then flipped it to the Punk Strategy Vault for 10 ETH higher. And then it happened again with the second Punk. So that they sold it for 52 versus 48. I don't have the technical know-how to understand exactly how that happens, but that's how I understand it. So in normal times, when it accumulates ETH slowly, it will buy the floor. If it accumulates too quickly, then it can overshoot, and this happens. So not great. I know they've been continuing to iterate on these smart contracts, so I still definitely view it as a work in progress.
It's cool. I think it's pretty impressive that it holds 25 punks. Like that's remember, by the way, guys, remember I told you guys a story of Locks, and I was at dinner with him and his family, and he had his computer in his fucking car, and he was buying Punkster on every dip. And I didn't. I was focused on another big trade, which obviously I ate on. Motherfucker's up a lot, guys.
Yeah, this was the Millie trade. This was the Millie trade.
He's definitely up 7 figures.
Our group chat, man, someone sent it at 1 million.
That he got in at 1. That's the thing. Logs got it at 1 million. And
I didn't buy until 15 million.
Well, that doesn't matter, motherfucker. It went to 300 mil. Logs was buying.
I didn't size in that great, so I actually added higher. I actually added on the announcement on Friday night.
That's fine. I'm just focused right. I'm turbo focused on Aster. Like that's where I'm at.
That's great.
I ate big on Aster from 0.67 to 1.617. Then I went back in yesterday when it was getting fudded. I went in big, and I'm gonna write. And then today got a Binance listing, and I think that goes up a lot. That's some Solana actually. I've been buying some spot Sol on the side because I sized into GLPF for my trade while I was away, which did well. But I'm liking Sol, dude. And ETH, man was right. I think ETH is looking really fucking good. I may add a spot bag of ETH. My goal for the rest of the cycle here, it's not cycle quarter here, Tyler, is like spot BTC ETH Sol BNB, and then spot alts, and the alts from your Aster. And I haven't touched my rec bag in like a year. I don't plan on doing that for now. Yeah, because Ovi's cooking, obviously. But that's really it for me. Obviously, you have a trading bag, right?
Make a few specific trades, conviction bets. I think that makes sense. I mean, Aster, I'm a bit of a moon boy. You know that about me.
Yeah.
Like Hyperliquid's the target, right? That's a 5x from here.
But Binance is a target, brother. Binance is a target.
And that's why you can get there, right? I'm not even like Hyperliquid may have a more superior product right now. That's well and good. But to me, that's not even we're not evaluating this on the current product. It's what it can be. Non-KYC on-chain Binance, right?
I'm not against the CEO of Aster on a podcast here saying that
even though they're our investor, we hope one day we can beat them.
And then you have like Ella Zhang, the like head of Easy Labs, retweeting that shit. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm good in there.
Yeah. That's their target. Clearly, they want to make it happen.
Everybody's gunning for Hyperliquid. You know, by the way, Hyperliquid is an amazing product. It's probably one of the best products in crypto. So I think people need to stop cannibalizing. PvP everything, right? Like the Aster trade was very PvE, still is. No matter what you got in that, you're probably up because we're so close to all-time highs. So it's been great. Anyways. I'm seeing time we have our guest on. I guess, Tyler, is there anything else you want to cover? And then tomorrow, maybe we just do a proper big roundup.
Those are the big ones. So we do have the Aster airdrop. That's October 14th. The checker's coming out October 10th. They did announce that you can choose to get your tokens or get your fees back. So that was an interesting twist.
I like that.
A bit to unpack there. MetaMask rolled out a rewards program as well. I don't think we know the full details of exactly how it's going to work. But there is 30 million in LINEA up for grabs at a minimum. I think there's a little bit lack of clarity of what that means for historical MetaMask users. Like, is it just starting right now? Everyone has 0 points, or are past users going to be rewarded? So I think we'll look for more info on that. That was the big ones. Tether's in talks to launch a $200 million treasury co for gold for XAU. Its gold token, somewhat notable. Oh, Mega ETH teasing their token. And then we need to do a prediction market show too. Spend more time. Myriad. First $1 million market, setting new daily records by the day, it seems right now.
Our database is broken. I've been trying to refresh it for like 3 hours. Shit's going well, dude. I mean, we had a good trip as well, Naren, you know, on the BD side for Myriad. So nice. It's gonna be an exciting Q4 for Myriad predictors. You know, if you're not predicting on Myriad yet, you should start predicting. You should definitely start predicting. Tyler's like, message received.
Start doing that. I spotted a new X page, Twitter page over the weekend. I tweeted out this at MYR. Thought that was interesting.
That took you guys quite some time.
So interpret that as you will. I see a comment from K Lambie, thoughts on past. So there is a new Punk strategy competitor. It's past. It's like Punk auction strategy. So they've tweaked the model a bit. I haven't had a chance to fully digest it, so I'll give deeper thoughts tomorrow. But the past tokens at $3. It's at 7 million market cap. I think like 15 million.
I was wondering, why is there no one doing the same thing? If it's like usually how Launchpad, when the Launchpad comes out, everybody copies the shit, right?
Yeah. So first competitor has launched. So take a look at that. I'm not saying go buy it. I say at least spend a little bit of time thinking about it because it is 1/15 the market cap of its primary competitor right now.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. Let's go to today's guest, our show partner, LOL McShiz, Ben from Hydration. What's up, Ben? How you doing? Good morning.
Hey guys. Very well. How are you?
We're good, man. We're good. We're vibing. It's a beautiful Monday. It's bull market. Bitcoin's just hanging out at all-time high. I mean, How can we be anything other than good? Exactly. Ben, why don't you give us a little intro? You know who you are, what you do?
I'm Ben, or Lol McShiz, aka the worst name in crypto.
It's a great name.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Oh, it's just nobody can say it, right? It's just I've had it since I was about 17 when I created my Twitter account, which is like, I don't know, in the best part of 20 years ago now. So it's just one of those ones that stuck around, but yeah, not the best, not the easiest to say. So I'm ecosystem leader at Hydration. So we're a layer 1 secured by Polkadot of all things. So we're a blockchain specifically built to make DeFi simple, efficient, and unstoppable. So we combine the sort of 3 pillars, I like to say, of trading, lending, and stablecoin under one app-specific blockchain. So obviously, you've like the meta at the moment is all around stablecoins and all these stablecoin L1s, and everyone realizing that if you have a blockchain specifically for one purpose, it can do it really well. Obviously, we've been building this for a couple of years now, over 2 years. You know, things like paying fees in stablecoins. You know, we've been doing that for over 2 years. Nothing like rocket science for us. So, yeah, that's Hydration in a nutshell.
I love that. And for those of you who are curious, I mean, we should pin it to the top. There's this really awesome video. We've worked with Luke as well, actually. Luke is awesome. Luke Franks, great creator, giving you a little more info on like what hydration is. I'll just play it on here. It's just 47 seconds, right, Ben? May as well just play it out for people to get more of a, oh no, I closed it. God damn it. I didn't host a show for 2 weeks and I forgot where all my buttons are. You know what I mean? So let me just share it again. Here, there it is. Am I at the right page? Yes, I am. So let's play that for y'all.
All right, listen. Currently, DeFi is scattered across tabs, but Hydration brings it all together, one chain and one flow. So it's a next-gen layer 1 on Polkadot that unites the 3 pillars: trading, lending, and its own native stablecoin. So you can swap, borrow, repay, settle composable, fast, and permissionless. And builders get SDKs, DAO tooling, and liquidity primitives straight out the box, so you can ship in weeks, not months. And now it is live with Holla, Hydration's native stablecoin. Mint it, move it, put idle capital to work across the Hydration stack. So if you're a DAO, a project, or a power user, this is DeFi without the faff. Efficient, simple, and unstoppable. So follow at hydration_net and hydrate your stables. Informational purposes only. Always do your own research. All right, listen.
I love that. I love the DYOR, Dan. You have to have it. So this is really good. I love the video. Love Luke and everything. So you guys are doing a lot, and it's all built on Polkadot. So let me ask you a few questions here on that front. So protocol executed partial liquidations. Wow, PEPL. So that's how you guys. You know, have this all sorted up. You have your Holler stablecoin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So why don't you just explain to people what that may mean? Because I know it's a lot of big words, it's a lot of definitions here. So what's Holler and how does this all work?
So Holler is the hydrated dollar. That's our stablecoin. That's built on the Unveils Go. Obviously a very robust stablecoin, which we've then put our own bells and whistles on top of. One of which is our PEPL, protocol executed partial liquidations. Best name. Essentially, so what this is let's say, for example, you get liquidated normally on Aave, right? As soon as your position is vulnerable for liquidation because your health factor's gone below 1, you can lose 50% of your position just like that, right? Which obviously sucks. You could be just slightly late repaying some of your borrow or something, and then you lose 50% of your possession. That really sucks. So what partially executed partial liquidations do is the collators, or I guess sequencers, I guess they're called in the L2 game. They essentially process these liquidations as soon as the Oracle update comes through, before anyone can actually submit any transactions, right? So these are enshrined into the actual runtime of the protocol. So what this means is that we can enforce that the minimum amount of your position is liquidated, right? Because an external liquidator will always liquidate as much as they humanly can, because it's the most profitable thing to do, right? We can enforce that only the smallest amount is liquidated, just to get your position back above health, which means that you have you don't lose a lot of your position, which obviously gives you an opportunity to live another day, and that's obviously better for users.
So how does this all work? Like you said, enshrined, automated arbitrage, etc. Explain to people, like, how does it work and why should people pay attention to this?
So as I mentioned, hydration is its own L1, right? So we own the full DeFi stack. So it's not a generalized smart contract platform where you're submitting transactions to block producers who can include what they want to or what they don't want to. So we have a decentralized set of sequences which will process orders, and we enshrine into the runtime some of those transactions. So rather than liquidations just all being submitted at once, and it's whoever pays the highest gas fee or tip or whatever gets their transaction included. Certain transactions are automatically included, and there's not really much that can be done about it. So what it means is that we can, for example, rather than relying on external arbitrages to come in and buy a stable coin when it's below 1 and sell it when it's above 1, we can actually automate in the runtime that the protocol with its own liquidity is closing that arbitrage gap. So you can see it's constantly, the Holler Stability Module, or HSM, is constantly bidding up Holler when it's below 1 or selling Holler and burning it when it's above 1.
Okay, interesting. And so what's the link here with Polkadot?
So Polkadot is the base layer, right? That's what provides the security. It's what provides the interoperability with other networks. So you mentioned Pudgy a bunch of times on your stream earlier. So you've got Mythical Games, which has got the Pudgy Penguins game.
These guys are amazing.
Yeah. So that's another network that's part of Polkadot. So they provide the base layer infrastructure, the security. So it doesn't cost an awful lot to secure the chain rather than having to have huge emissions for a token to secure the chain. That's already included. But also native stablecoin support, USDT, USDC, and other great high liquid assets like native ETH and things like that, all supplied without us needing to do individual integrations, right? So cheap security, reliable, and extremely scalable.
Okay, wow. There's a lot going on here. The branding's cool, though. There's a lot going on. Looks like you have been busy. When did this launch?
Well, we launched about 2.5 years ago now, quite a long time ago. But we're sort of always adding these different layers to the stack. So the stablecoin sort of like the latest layer to be added. November time last year, we added the money market itself for borrowing and lending. And then obviously we've got your standard swaps, interesting model rather than just your normal isolated pools where you swap between two assets. We have everything all in one giant pool called the Omni Pool that just helps for if you have, say for example on Uniswap, you'd have a whole load of pools which are paired with ETH, right? So you might have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ETH, but it's all split into loads of different pools. Whereas on Hydration in the Omni Pool, you can have all of it once. So you have a big, deep amount, and then that's paired with everything else all in one to go.
Okay, wow, very cool. Love that. And so, if I'm reading this right, I'm just sharing on screen for those of you who are not watching on video, which is on stream, and I'm kind of going through the whole thing. So this is all powered like by DAO. So how does this work for the protocol level, like treasury management, etc.? Like how does this all stay together?
So it's a bit of a meme in this space where everyone's like, "What does the token do?" And then everyone's always like, "I can govern and vote and whatnot," right? But really, it's just a signal, and what actually happens is based on some guys with a multi-sig, right? But anything that's built with the Polkadot SDK, you can actually enforce that at the runtime level. That whatever the token holders vote with, it happens autonomously, right? So runtime upgrades and things like that. What that allows with all these different networks being interoperable is that you can actually communicate trustlessly. So for example, the Polkadot treasury itself is a liquidity provider on Hydration, right? And that was all done via a vote of DOT token holders. They voted to send 1 million DOT over to Hydration and put it in the Omnipool. They did that, and so they're an LP. They also dollar cost average out to stable coins to pay for development and whatever else, and they do that trustlessly as well. So there's a referendum on governance where they vote to swap a certain amount of DOT over a certain period of time, for example, and that happens trustlessly. That all got sent across to Hydration, where it does these little swaps, and then periodically it sends it back across to Polkadot. So it's pretty cool, all done without middlemen and just happening constantly.
Yeah. Okay. So this is wow, this is all really interesting. So how do people stay in touch with you guys? Obviously, there's a HydrogenNet Twitter account that we were just on, etc. The website has quite a lot of information. So how do people stay in touch, and how can people get involved with you guys here?
Yeah, the Twitter's the best bet. I mean, we've got HydrogenNet on basically everything. So the Discord, the Telegram. Obviously, I'm in the stream right now, so people can follow me as the ecosystem lead. Reach out through Telegram or Discord or whatever. But we're, like I said, we're a DAO that has its own treasury. So we've got over $20 million worth of non-HDX assets, Bitcoin, DOT, ETH, stablecoins, Aave, Sol, like the lot. And these are all owned by the token holders, right? So people want to get involved with DAO governance and things. I mean, I think a lot of us are semi-done with DAO governance after all these years of everything. But yeah, feel free to come and get involved.
It's
on
tough.
any of those channels.
Awesome. Lon McShiz, he's on stage right now. If you guys want to follow him, if you're interested in everything building the HydrogenNet here in Polka dot ecosystem, thank you for partnering with us today, and appreciate you, man.
No, thanks very much for having me, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tyler, you didn't get to give some money away last week, did you?
We gave a little bit away on Friday, but we did not get to do any spins or any real yeet action. Are we going to be able to get to do that today or no?
Well, we have $482 in the account, which means that we are missing what, $18? So let me just fund our account with like $18. Jesus Christ, man, though. Hold on. Because it's $500, right? That we need to 2 times 250
For one.
or one. Oh, I see where you're going with that. In the meantime, Sims, you here? Is Timothy here? I don't even know if he's here. No? Anybody home?
Sadly, I am.
We need. Oh, first of all, fucking Mando, Jesus. Okay, so let me send $19 to the account here. You owe me coffee, Mando. It's like 1 coffee in London. Okay. Oh, let's do that. Okay, perfect. Amazing question. I like that. So the spinny Willy thingy is not working right now, guys, but we're still gonna do a giveaway. So you know the rules. You gotta be watching us on kick.com/Degenz live. Kick.com/Degenz live. You have to follow us on there. You know the vibes. Also, it's a better watching experience. And then we do it on X, but it's a little better there. And then I'm gonna ask a question, and I'm gonna actually open Kick so I see it directly on there. And the first person to answer properly will just be selected to come up. So I'm looking at the Kick right now. Chat, are you here? I want to see some. I want to see some chat answers to see if it's active. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Chat on Kick. Am I seeing some? There it is. There's you motherfuckers. All right. I see. Look how quick you guys are to respond on Kick. I love that. I love that shit. All right. Are you guys ready? What token got clipped for 2% today, dropping nearly 60%? No. It's not. Oh, Buster!
Oh, there we go.
Under oath?
I have under oath.
No, right above him. Look, right above him.
Oh, it says Onkster though. It's spelled wrong.
He meant punks.
Oh, are we gonna? Do you have to have the right ticker, or do you?
Yeah, because even Punster is wrong.
Nobody's got it, but Checker. Because look, Punster, Punkster, Prankster, Punkster. So like, what are we giving? It's either Checker or Foob, right?
I think we gotta get the Checker.
I think it's got to be spelt right, personally.
All right. There it is. The boys, listen, we're 3 people. We have to agree on this. If you guys, that's the way you're going, then that's the way we're going. Checker for E. Congratulations. PNK. It's PNK. Is it PNKSTR?
Just double check that because my thingy won't load. It's PNKSTR, I believe.
Let me see. Hold on. PNKSTR. Well, Checker for E. Yeah. Congratulations. He's like, yeah. Well, you win. Not only did you just win $500 in cash, you also win $500 that we're gonna play for you right now. And do we have the money? Let me see. Money. No, I sent it in ETH. And you have to. Oh. Any of you have $18? Like, no, it says account balance. Can I just like change this to that? No, I can't.
Can you?
You could just turn the screen off for a second and go and claim our ref code and use that.
Oh,
I think you can do swaps. See if you can do a swap in there.
You can't.
Okay.
Just claim the ref code. Just claim the ref code and go with it. I'll sort it out later.
Just tell me. I'll take a screenshot.
You just send me a screenshot of how much you're claiming, so I know.
Jesus Christ. Fucking Daddy Mando. Fucking Mando. Money. Oh, there's a lot. Let's make sure we claim this. Hold on. Sims. Where's Sims? Hold on. Sims. I'll send it to you. One second. Sure you went. All right. We're back on the show, y'all. Okay. All right, Sam. So I do claim now.
Yes.
Okay. And then what?
Also, still to be paid, the person who won does still have to have a ETH account. So make sure you type it in chat so we know it.
Oh, check it free for sure.
Check it free. Please let us know what it is, and then we can get you paid. If you don't, there was somebody who didn't get paid because they didn't have a ETH account, and we didn't pay them.
Why is the claim button so slow?
Are we still waiting for that? Okay, thank you. I got it. I got his name now. Perfect.
Come on. Yeah, checker free is like a duck guy, no? Guys, what's going on? Maybe it's my internet or something, but it's so fucking slow right now. I can't believe I said ETH. I'm just gonna put it on like very hard lamb chop and just see what happens with the $20. You know, the claim button's not working, Sims. I'm not even
Control
kidding.
F5.
Oh, error claiming commission. Fucking yeet, dude. Can we just do like the $482 is got in there, and then we'll just transfer it. Do you guys have USDT on any account? My USDT is on Solana.
Let me have a look.
Oh my god!
Has it really come to this?
Has it really come to this? It looks like
just play the 480.
They'll just play that, and that's it. And then you know what? Let's do this. You know what? Just let's play the 480 and just give him $520 in cash.
Yeah, that works.
Yes, that works.
Done. All right.
There you go. That's what you're getting.
This is so fucking funny. So there you go. Congratulations, Jeremy. $520. Flip side is you could have lost that whole 500 and make just 500. So
fine for me, he says. He's good.
Fucking lamb chop, dude. All right. Let's play some lamb chop. Is he in the chat?
He is.
All right. Tell us right now, checker free, how far you want us to go so we can go faster here. On the lamb chop.
And what level?
Rails.
And what level? Rails? What level? Rail? Okay, I see. I have the chat open now. So we'll do $250 at first.
You want easy and medium?
Medium.
What a guy.
Rails.
Medium rails. Medium rails. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Medium rails. Let's go. Click and multiply. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
I haven't played this in forever.
Come on.
Yeah.
No. Fucker.
All right, well, you have $232 left here. So $232. All right, what do you want now? Yikes.
Sorry,
dude, I hate the blue balls we just got. Like the first thing he kicks his ass and he just loses. Like that's biggest blue balls ever. Guys, we hit so many 1000Xs in Korea on that limbo shit.
Run it back.
All right, come on. Guy wants to gamble.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Come on. No.
Oh man, no. RTP. He's back from Korea. He said he really notched that up.
Manda needs to make his money back from Korea. Manda wins again. But hey, yeah, we just saved our boy $20.
Hey, 520. It's better.
So we got We literally got it for $20. So I love that. Anyway, so with that, I mean, Mr. Tyler, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.